Hi, everybody who's joining us for the live stream. I hope you're all doing well. My name is Yusuf. I am from the Best Buddies chapter at the University of Toronto, Scarborough. I'm so excited to be doing a really fun activity with you all today. Today, I'm joined by my good friend, Steven. Steven and I go all the way back to high school. You want to say hi, Steven?
Hello, everybody. I'm Steven.
Yeah,
I go
so
to Maryland. I'm graduating this year.
that's awesome. Congratulations. Both of us are
Thank you.
graduating this year, so it's a really
Yes,
special
we
time
are.
for us.
Yep.
Yeah, um, so it's great to have you all joining us today. We're living in some unique times. We've had to physically be distancing from each other, and we've had to put a pause on some of the things that we usually do. But that doesn't mean that we can't stay connected with our friends and family, and it doesn't mean that we can't do fun activities together. So, Stephen, what do you like to do in your free time?
I like to do my work and I like to watch Disney movies and watch Raptors because I'm a big Raptor fan.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I
That's
like
great.
the NBA and I am more interested in Toronto.
That's great. I'm a Toronto fan as well.
Raptor
Um,
fan.
Me personally, I've been staying connected with my friends and family. Me and my buddy Andrew, we've been staying in touch by calling each other and video chatting a couple times a week. And we just catch up on how things are going. We talk about sports as well. And even me and Steven, we've been messaging and calling each other for the past few weeks. Isn't that right, Steven?
Yes, we have been Yusuf.
And I've also been doing some activities to stay busy, like going outside and taking walks. I've also been watching some movies and reading some books. So there's no shortage of ways to do some fun activities. And today we have some fun activities for you. And we have a set of 3 science experiments that I'll be showing you today. Some of these that you can do at your own home. And the cool thing about these is that they all involve things that you can find around your house. So you can try this. You can try the first 2 experiments at home yourself. And one similarity between all of these experiments is that they all use baking soda and vinegar. So let's just jump into the first experiment. All right. So we'll need baking soda for this, and we'll need vinegar. Now, I have my baking soda in a little cup here, in a measuring cup, but whatever you have around the house. So these are the 2 that we'll need for this first one. We'll also need a measuring cup and a measuring spoon. Here I have a tablespoon. Here I have half a cup. You can find whatever you have around your house. And then for this one, we'll need a Ziploc bag. And then we'll need a little bowl here, and you'll see why shortly. And that's all we need for this first one. So what we'll do is we'll open up the Ziploc bag. And now look closely here what I'm going to do. I'm going to be using the bowl to separate and create 2 pockets in the Ziploc bag. This allows me to pour the vinegar in one pocket and the baking soda in the other pocket without mixing the 2. All right. So for this one, what we'll need is 1 tablespoon of baking soda. So I'm going to scoop it out here. See, I've got 1 tablespoon, and I'm going to be pouring it out into this pouch. And then what we'll also need is half a cup of vinegar. So I'm just going to pour it out. All right. So we're going to have to try to be very careful with how we pour it out because we don't want to mix the ingredients too early. Now you'll notice that I have a pen under me, so that way if there's any spillage, it all gets caught. All right. So as you can see, I've got the baking soda and the vinegar both in the Ziploc bag, but they're separated. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close the Ziploc bag. And you want to make sure that you close it properly so that there's a seal and no air can escape. Now, Stephen, in a few
Yes.
moments, I'm going to lift up the Ziploc bag and the baking soda and the vinegar are going to mix.
Okay.
What do you think will happen when I do that?
I think bubbles will come out of it though.
That's a really good guess. All right, one way to find out.
Let's
So on the count
see.
of 3, I'm going to lift up the Ziploc bag and I'm going to give it a quick mix. All right.
Sure, you do that.
All right, one,
One,
two,
two,
three.
three, five. Wow. It looks cool.
Oh,
Wow.
it burst. So it made
Yeah,
a really
first.
small pop and it burst out.
Wow, that's
So
awesome.
as you can see, the Ziploc bag was expanding, 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 and then it got to a point where the seal popped. Now that happened pretty quickly. So why don't we see that one more time? I've got another one here that's ready to go. I've already mixed everything. I've already put the ingredients in, so I'm just going to lift this up. See, once again, I have a bowl. I've got the baking soda in here. I've got the vinegar in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give this a seal, making sure that I don't mix any of the ingredients together. And that way no air can escape. All right, are you ready for the second one, Stephen?
Yes, I am for sure, Yusuf.
All right, let's see how it goes again. In
Yep,
three,
it's gonna be cool.
two,
3,
one.
2, 1.
All
Wow.
right. Whoa,
Oh,
that made a louder pop, eh?
yes,
That's
it
pretty cool.
did. Yeah.
All right, good stuff. So we're gonna put
Yes.
that off to the side.
Yeah.
So that was the first experiment.
Yeah.
So for this second one, once again, we're gonna need vinegar and we're gonna need our baking soda. Once again, we have our same measuring cup and measuring spoon. Once again, this uses half a cup of vinegar and a tablespoon of baking soda. What we will also need is a regular water bottle, an empty plastic water bottle. We'll also need a funnel. We'll also need a balloon. Stephen, I've got a blue one here and a yellow one here. What do you prefer?
Yellow.
Good
Yellow would be
call.
good.
All right.
Yeah.
And then this is completely optional, but if you have any food coloring around in your home, you can also use food coloring. You don't have to use it, and it doesn't affect the experiment at all, but it's just cool to have a color. Stephen, what's your favorite color?
Red for the Toronto Raptors.
I like it. I like it. So
Yep.
today I have green. I have green with me. That's what I have around the house.
Oh,
So we're going to be using that. So
okay.
this experiment, what we'll need to do is we're going to be putting the baking soda into this balloon. And how we're going to do that is we're going to use the funnel. So we're going to put the funnel into the balloon. And then we're going to get our baking soda. We need a tablespoon of baking soda here. See that?
Yeah.
And I'm going to be pouring it into the funnel. And right now it's in the balloon. So we're going to put that off to the side. We're going to bring back our bottle. I'm going to put the funnel on top here. And then I'm going to be pouring out half a cup of the vinegar. So I'm going to pour that out. All right. And we're going to carefully put it into the funnel. So as you can see, the vinegar right now is in the bottle. Now, what we can do is we can add a couple of drops of food coloring. So I'm going to add a couple of drops in here. All right. And I'm going to give it a quick stir so that it mixes. Looks pretty cool, eh?
Yeah.
All right. So for this part, this is a bit tricky. What we're going to need to do is we're going to need to wrap this balloon on the lip of the water bottle. So you can always try to have somebody with you to help you out for this. But you want to make sure, once again, just like the Ziploc, you want to make sure there's a good seal so that no air can escape, okay? So let's see. I think we've got a good seal here. So Stephen, based off of the
Yes.
previous reaction,
Well,
based on the
probably
previous experiment, what do you think will happen when I lift up the balloon and I dump the baking soda into the vinegar?
it's gonna turn red, I guess.
Well, it probably won't change colors, but what do you think will happen to the liquid? What do you think will happen when I mix the two?
The liquid would turn into a physical change of the thing that you put in.
That's right. So what'll
The
happen? Well, we'll see what'll
chemicals.
happen, but there'll be a little reaction, okay? Are you
Yeah,
ready?
I'm ready.
Three, two, one. You see that?
Yeah.
It's bubbling, it's fizzing up, and look what's happening to the balloon.
Wow.
You see that? It got bigger and it expanded.
Wow.
So that happened pretty quickly, but luckily
Yeah.
I've got another one ready to
Yeah.
go, already mixed up and everything. Here we go. You ready to see it again?
Yeah, I'm ready to see it again.
All right, in three, two, one.
Oh.
See how it bubbles up and it reacts, and then
Wow.
gas is created
That's
and it
that's awesome.
expands the balloon. That's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
And so you can use a regular water bottle, but I have a larger soda bottle and I've put more vinegar into this. I've put more vinegar into this. I have the same amount of baking soda. So, because I have more vinegar, do you think the balloon will be bigger or do you think it'll be smaller than the previous?
I think it would be bigger, I guess.
I'm guessing that too. So let's find
Yeah.
out, okay? On the count of three. Three,
One,
two,
three,
one.
two, one.
Here we go.
Oh ho ho.
All right. Well, looks like they actually came out about the same size, but that's completely fine. It's
Wow.
getting bigger. It's still reacting. That's pretty
Wow.
cool. You can see it bubbling up. You can see the green. It looks like slime. You can use
Wow.
any color you want. Or you can just have no food coloring, and that's completely fine too. As you can see, actually, it looks like the balloon did get bigger. That's because we had more vinegar. So that's pretty cool. So these two experiments you can try at home. And actually, the natural question you might be thinking right now is, what is this gas that's causing this balloon to expand? Well, when you mix baking soda and vinegar, a gas is created, and this gas is called CO2. It's carbon dioxide. Now, carbon dioxide is all around us. It's in the air that we breathe. And actually, every time that we breathe out, we actually breathe out CO2. And that's because our body's getting rid of that waste. So for this third experiment, this one I'll be doing myself. You won't be doing it at home, but it's really cool. So I definitely want to show you. Now, what we'll need for this one is a cup, and then we'll need a small bowl and a tea candle. Now, CO2 is denser than the air around us, which means that it'll actually sink to the bottom in the air around us. Now, I'm gonna turn on the candle. All right. So the candle's on right now. Now, one of the things that fire needs to stay on is oxygen. So the candle's on right now because there's oxygen in the air, and that's what it's using to stay on. Now, what we'll need again for this experiment is, once again, half a cup of vinegar. And then, once again, we'll need a tablespoon of baking soda. Now, this time, we're going to add the baking soda in very gently because it'll start fizzing up and we don't want it to overflow. All we need for this experiment is to create CO2 gas. So you can see it's bubbling up and it's fizzing up and it's rising. Now, once again, because CO2 is denser than the air around us, the CO2 will stay in this cup. Now, you can't see this gas because it's invisible. So I'm going to add a little bit more. Okay. So it's fizzed up, it's reacted. What we have right now is CO2 being created. And that's why you can see all these bubbles and it's fizzing up. So this experiment that I'm doing is called the invisible fire extinguisher. And you'll see in a moment why it's called that. So right now in this cup, we have CO2. I don't want to move around too much because I don't want to blow it away from the cup. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pour out just the gas into this bowl. not the liquid, not the vinegar, not the baking soda, just the gas that you can't see into this bowl. And let's see what happens. All right. So Steven, did you see what happened?
Yeah, the fire went out and it melted it.
Yeah, and
It did went out.
I didn't pour any liquid.
Yeah,
It was invisible. And that's
yeah, it did
because
went
the
out.
CO2 is denser, and so it falls into the bowl and it pushes out the oxygen. And that way the
Wow.
fire no longer has oxygen and it turns off.
Wow, that's
Try this
awesome.
one more
I
time.
should try that one day.
No, this one that I'm just doing it, you don't do this at home. So we've got the vinegar. We can still use the same cup. Once again, I'm going to add some baking soda. And remember, when I react these two, it's creating CO2 gas. Now, baking soda, the chemical name for baking soda is sodium bicarbonate, and vinegar is also known as acetic acid. So when we mix the two, one of the products is CO2, carbon dioxide. So I think we've added just about enough. We'll try this one more time. So once again, the carbon dioxide gas is being formed and it stays in the cup because it's denser. And then in a few moments, I'm going to pour it out into the bowl and let's see this happen again. All right. And just like that, it turns off. Isn't that pretty cool?
Yeah.
All right. So those are the three experiments that I showed you today, and I hope that you enjoyed it. The first two you can definitely try at home. So that's it for experiments for today, but the fun doesn't have to end here. Throughout the summer, Best Buddies Canada will be bringing you many more live stream activities that you don't want to miss. So you're going to definitely want to follow Best Buddies Canada on Instagram and keep posted because there are so many more cool things coming your way. Thank you, Stephen, for joining me
Thanks,
today.
Yusuf.
And thank you all today for joining the live stream. If you have any questions or comments about anything I did today, please feel free to message Best Buddies Canada on Instagram or any other social media. And I hope you all stay happy. I hope you all stay healthy. And I hope to see you guys in the next live stream.
Bye, Yusuf.
Stephen.